Okay, so we're rolling. I'm just going to start off real simply just asking you, please introduce yourself and state where you're from.
My name's Henry Hoskins. I'm originally a resident of the state of Mississippi. I graduated from the University of Alabama, where I went on a basketball scholarship. I was with the U.S. Treasury Department for 20 years, and I've been here in Gardena for 10 years. I operate a bail bond office at 16501 Western and a private investigation office. We have right now about 10 agents. I started the business in Gardena with basically a credit card and a lot of ideas, and Gardena has been very good to me, very good.
What were some of the factors that brought you here to the city of Gardena?
Well, when I was doing my marketing survey, actually it's sort of an interesting story. I was in a discount store one day and I heard a gentleman talking about bail bonds, and I had just gotten my license, and I said, I gave him a business card, and he said, oh, I want to talk to you. He had been a bail bondsman in Gardena for many, many years and had gotten ill. I think his family was involved in the police department, and he was here for a number of years. Then he said, why don't you come to Gardena? It's a good area, good people. I'll give you a lot of my business information and all that. And I did, and it's worked out real well. The city's been very cooperative with us, and at this point in time, I've joined the chamber. I think I've been a chamber member for about 5 years, and I'm presently the president of the Gardena Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Do you currently live in the city of Gardena?
No, I don't live in the city of Gardena. I live in a nearby city, Lomita, and have for about 12 years.
Can you tell me some of your memories of the city from the time you've been here? What sort of things are significant for you about the town?
Well, I think I talked with you earlier. When I first came to Gardena, I didn't know how I would be accepted. And I think one of the first people through the door was the Gardena News, which at the time was right down the street in a rather ramshack building. And Mr. LG and his crew, Angelina and Gary, the people that are actually still with the news, were very, very receptive to me, and I'd go down and talk, and the water would would drip from the ceiling, and it was, as I said, an antiquated building, and they would come here. We got to be a little more than business associates. We were actually friends, and I think I've advertised in the Gardena News every issue for the last 8 years.
And how has that been impacting on your business?
Oh, it's been good. As I said, in fact, I had one lady that I think I took her son out of jail 3 times for traffic violations, and she said, please don't ever move because I can walk to your office. We actually do try to serve the community. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and a lot of times they're young people. The family, wants to help. We do a lot of times. I'll tell you an interesting story. When I first got in the business, I got a phone call late one night, and it was a lady, and she said, the first thing I want to tell you is I have no money. And I think it was the day before Christmas Eve. And she said, my husband and I were separated, and he got arrested just a few minutes ago. Said he was riding his bicycle over to see me, and we were trying to reconcile for Christmas. We have 2 children, and I'm expecting any minute. And he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. His bond was $10,000, and he was in the Gardena jail. So, I said, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you meet me at my office? And it was real cold, and I think she was sitting on the same sofa you're sitting on, as a matter of fact. And it was pretty obvious that she was pregnant, and I guess one reason I wanted to get this over with, I thought she was going to deliver right there. But she had a job, and he had a job, and it all checked out, but she had no money. And I said, I tell you what I'll do. For Christmas, I'll go over and take him out of jail, and you can pay me when you can. And she said, oh, I promise you I'll pay you. And it went very well. We took him out, and they had a good Christmas, and she came back in every month, and paid until she had paid the premium. The last time she came through here, she stood at the door, and she said, I want you to know something. She said, I really love you, but I hope I never see you again. And I said, well, I hope so too. But it so happened that was, I think, 7, 8 years ago. They came in a while back, the whole family, and they wanted to introduce me to their oldest daughter, and she had just won some awards at school. And it was very gratifying that the family had gotten back together, and I had helped in my small way. And it's just, that's, it's a good feeling. It really is, and they're good people. It was just, one of those situations.